What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video of the Point After Podcast. Here today discussing the Florida State Seminoles, currently sitting at 3-0, going up against Wake Forest, coming off of a heartbreaking loss to Clemson. This is a game, guys, where you have a team that is gaining all kinds of speed, all kinds of momentum. I'm trying to get the ESPN preview pulled up here. Versus Wake Forest, who basically just emptied the tank against Clemson. Sam Hartman threw for 6 touchdowns. He's got 13 on the year. Is that number one? It may be number one in the country at this point. This is a game where we saw it with BYU versus Oregon. I kind of predicted that. I'm going to make the same prediction here. What does Wake Forest have left in the tank? Double overtime loss against the number 5 team in the country in Clemson, where Hartman played the game of his life, or one of. Against Florida State, who they haven't beaten any team that's just overly impressive. Like, they beat LSU on the road. And it was not neutral site. That was a road game. They beat Louisville on the road. You just striped Boston College up 30-0 at halftime. You kind of pulled off the brakes there in the second half. But I don't think Jordan Travis was 100%. He played like it, hell, but This is a game to me where what does Wake Forest have left in the tank? It's almost like a what's it called? A unstoppable force in Florida State going up against a brick wall in Wake Forest. How thick is that brick wall? Is it an inch thick? Is it 10 feet thick? I don't know. But Wake Forest, if you want to win this game, last year you were a ground and pound kind of team. You're only rushing for 123 yards per game. Florida State is double that. Florida State is averaging 226 rushing yards per game. And you know where you need to be concerned if you're Wake Forest? How many rushing yards did you give up against Clemson? I know Shipley had over 100. DJ had over 80. 188. That's pretty much exactly what I was expecting. Will Shipley had 104. DJ had 52. Sorry, I thought he was a little higher than that. That may be counting sacks. Nonetheless, though, like, Florida State is moving on offense. They've got 2 quality wins on the roads against Louisville, LSU. Those are tough environments. One was a Friday night game. You know, Friday night games are always weird. And then a really solid performance against Boston College, who is not good. But when you're firing and you look good, you're not comparing yourself to the competition. You're comparing yourself to yourself at this point. That was the best Florida State's looked in a while. Going back to Wake Forest, though, your defense allowing 236 yards through the air. Florida State's kind of half and half, 160 rushing yards, or 140 rush, 160 passing yards allowed for about 310. That's 65 difference. And Florida State's offense is putting up 503 yards per game. That's essentially mostly due to that run game. Florida State has a really, really good run game, and I think that's going to be the difference maker in this game. If you can get that run game going and keep your offense on the field, keep Sam Hartman on the sideline. Sam Hartman's the best quarterback in the ACC. By far, I don't care what anybody says. Sam Hartman should be a first-round pick next year. Same with Devin Leary. ACC is stacked with quarterback talent. Jordan Travis, Mike Norvell, Florida State, they've been disrespected all season, since I don't even know how long, and rightfully so. They have sucked in the past. But again, unstoppable force. How thick is that brick wall for Wake Forest? What's left in the tank? Sam Hartman had a day. You know Sam Hartman's going out and ball, so Florida State has to keep Sam on the sideline. Third down offense. Wake Forest, 51% conversion rate. Florida State, 40%. It's not going to win you a football game, Florida State. You're going to have to do a lot better than that. Third down defense. 69% conversion rate in favor of the defense for Wake Forest, stopping them on 33 or 48 attempts. Florida State, here's where it gets a little bit better. 64% stopping them on 26 of, or only allowing, I think I wrote that down wrong. You're only allowed 26 conversions on 71 attempts. Red zone offense. Florida State converting 96%, 20 on 21 attempts. Wake Forest, 74%, 17 on 23 attempts. Now, where it does get, I think I had that backwards. I did. Wake Forest is 96% red zone offense. Florida State is 74%. Now, 74% is not ideal. I think it's almost last in the nation. Where it gets a little bit better for you, Wake Forest is last in the nation in red zone defense. 0 stops in 12 trips. So if you're Florida State and you get into the red zone, I like your chances. Unfortunately, though, your defense kind of sucks in the red zone too. 2 stops on 12 attempts. So what's going to come down to in this football game? You're pretty even on turnovers. Wake's +5, Florida State's +3. Offensive efficiency, Florida State is number 13. Wake is number 38. So difference maker in this football game. Can Wake Forest light it up? Can you have another 4, 5, 6 touchdown performance out of Sam Hartman? Because that may be what it takes. If you make Florida State throw the football, get them out of rhythm on offense. I've said this about a lot of other games, but it's the name of the game here. Get your opponents out of rhythm. Get your opponents doing stuff they don't want to do on first and second downs. Make them have to take shots. Make them need the deep plays, the big plays. That's how you're going to win this football game. If Wake Forest can make this a shootout, they can win this football game. They're 6-point underdogs now. It's went up a little bit. Florida State, establish a rhythm and go get them. That's basically the name of the game here. Force a couple turnovers if you can. Get a few stops. Sam Hartman, he's going to throw all over you. I'm just telling you right now, don't be surprised when it happens. He's one of the best quarterbacks for a reason. So I'm going to take Florida State to win this football game. Let me know in the comment section if you agree with me. If not, let me know and why as well. Be sure to hit the subscribe button. We're 12 away from 200. We went up 30 last week, trying to top that number today for our best day, best week in terms of number of subscribers gained. It's absolutely free, and I'm going to be talking about these teams a lot more. We're not even halfway through the season, guys. So there's a lot of Wake Forest and Florida State content coming. Thank you guys for tuning in. I look forward to talking to you in the comments section and seeing you again next Monday.